Hi, I'm Jake Palmer from the Funk Academy. I'm here at the National Space Centre as part of LAMP's 5K Trip to the Moon campaign for Mental Health Awareness Week. Today we're looking at the importance of using your support network to manage your mental health.
All of us need good support networks, strong relationships with family and friends we can count on. They give us a sense of belonging, which has a positive effect on our mental health, as well as being there to offer support when we're going through a tough time. It can take some effort to maintain a support network. So imagine being an astronaut, physically isolated from family and friends for months at a time. And you can imagine that any contact that's possible, or reminders of home, will be really beneficial to their mental well-being. During the Apollo missions to the moon in the 60s and 70s, as well as the Gemini missions before that, very little personal communication was possible. But occasionally, astronauts' wives would be invited to mission control for the chance to speak to their husbands during their space flights. Patricia McDivitt and Pat White did just that during the Gemini 4 mission in 1965. Of course, astronauts' families have their own worries to deal with. Astronauts' wives in that era created their own support networks, being there for each other during stressful times in missions, offering an understanding that few others could share. Even for work communications, NASA was careful to ensure the Apollo astronauts felt supported and understood. Their direct communications would always go through the Capsule Communicator, or CAPCOM. This would always be another astronaut working at Mission Control in Houston, like Charlie Duke, who acted as CAPCOM during the Apollo 11 mission. When Charlie went to the moon himself on Apollo 16, he took something with him of great personal significance. Apollo astronauts had a very limited allowance for personal items. They'd often take small mementos like wedding rings to allow them to feel connected to their families back home. But Charlie Duke went one stage further. He took a picture of his family with him to the moon so that it would feel symbolically like they'd all travelled there together. He left it on the moon's surface and snapped this photo to show his two young sons when he returned home. These days, much more communication is possible, and astronauts can take more personal items with them for their long stay in space. The International Space Station has a strong internet signal through a satellite connection. Although personal use of the fastest connection is restricted, astronauts have an IP phone they can use for making phone calls, and they can communicate using email and social media. Of course, it doesn't always run smoothly. Just like for any of us, astronauts sometimes dial a wrong number, as Tim Peake once did, leading him to post this apologetic tweet on Christmas Eve 2015. Astronauts on the ISS are also allowed scheduled video calls with their families, making keeping in touch much easier than it was in the early days of space travel. And that kind of contact is so important psychologically, letting astronauts feel connected with their families and friends back home. And that's equally true for all of us here on Earth. Anytime we're feeling lonely or isolated, having a strong support network is a vital step in helping us get back on an even keel and deal with the problems that life throws at us.